Welcome to this episode of Shonen Flop, and as we say in the warm-up audio, if you don't have anything nice to say, you're on the wrong podcast.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't? I don't care. I'm hungry. Jordan, what was the thing I was supposed to say?
If you don't have anything nice to say, you're on the right podcast, because we fucking criticize manga all the time.
Yeah, especially the Shojo Null, we're talking about that.
Oh my god. Anyway, who the fuck are you, David?
I'm David.
I'm Jordan. What a mess. Okay.
Next week we'll be covering Juki Ningen Yombor. I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It's fine. If you'd like to read along with us, be sure to join the discussion in our Discord. Thanks, babe. Be sure to join the discussion in our Discord and submit your 6-word summary. You can find a link to our Discord in our episode description and on our website, shonenflop.com. But this week we are talking about Shojo Null, and we're joined by our guest, TrpyCris. TrpyCris, thank you so much for joining us today. Do you mind telling the audience a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is TrpyCris. I am a 23-year-old horror manga YouTuber. I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for about 4 to 5 years, and I'm just very happy to be invited to the Shonen Flop.
Chris, though, I know that you are a master of horror, so I actually have a curiosity where I would say, do you have a favorite non-horror work from an established horror creator, or vice versa? You know, kind of like, you know, how Get Out was created by
Jordan Peele?
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if there's one of the two that speaks to you more. I'd just be really curious what was kind of like an unexpected work that you really enjoy given who the creator was.
I don't know if you would count Fujimoto, like the mangaka of Chainsaw Man, because I kind of count Chainsaw Man a little bit as like horror.
It's definitely horror.
Because like it's pretty gory, and like some of the themes could get pretty dark, and like just the creatures that show up, like the demons. I thought that counts a little bit as horror, but I would say like his like his like one shots of like 17 to 26.
That mini series where they adapted a lot of them on Amazon.
Yeah. I would say like that, because like I can't think of any like at the top of my head, honestly. Other than horror, I'm just like a really big romance like genre. I love the romance genre, so I don't know if there's any like horror mangaka that made a romance series.
Really?
Huh.
I know there's a bunch of like romance that has to do with like yokai and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, people are so there's definitely a lot of monster romance stuff. Anyway, though, we're not here. We're not here to talk about this. But I also want to give a big thank you to Van Archist for recommending you as a guest.
Thank you.
So, Jordan, speaking of monsters, why don't we get into talking about this manga and get into the manga details?
Let's do it. All right, so this is Shojo Null, and it was written by Kanae Nakanishi. Other works include Welcome to the Special Idiosyncrasy Classroom. Oh, that sounds like my classroom in high school. That's a light novel. 3 volumes, 2018-2019. Illustrations by somebody named Mataro. And seemingly the manga version of that same series, Welcome to the Special Idiosyncrasy Classroom. 2018, still ongoing. 2+ volumes in Young Ace Up. That's capital U, capital P, exclamation point.
I see UP.
Haha. With art by Yasutoki Noro. A virginal teacher, okay, in all respects, ends up teaching a special class based on one core idea: that geniuses throughout history have had weird fetishes.
Okay, nice.
So a class full of fetishists will overflow with geniuses. What the fuck? And of course, the students are all girls, because why not?
Is the teacher like a male?
MaxyBee does not specify, but I'm assuming. MaxyBee is our comics historian who writes all of these.
Yep.
I see.
Another series is The God of Time. Damn. 2025, 2 volumes. Shonen Jump Plus with art by Tsukasa Furukawa. A time-stop romance is kicked off when a girl named Yuki saves a boy, Hiroki, from death. The description on Manga Plus, where it is licensed, promises suspense, which, yeah, stopping time suspense stuff. Well done.
Whoa, crazy.
Whoa.
And finally, goodbye to all the people who were not kind to us. 2025, still ongoing. 1+ volume in Manga Up with art by NM. A girl returns to the rural town in which her sister killed herself with one purpose in mind: to use a snake god's bloody ritual to empower her to kill those who had bullied her sister to her breaking point. A blood-soaked revenge fantasy and then some. So a little bit manga carry right there.
That sounds like a series I would cover.
We've actually had guests who are like, I think I'm going to cover this other work.
Yeah, hey. I mean, it's
it.
still ongoing. It's not a flop yet.
True.
Not a flop.
So maybe it's actually good. This is a writer-artist combo, and it was drawn by somebody named Akima, aka Akimasa Tokunaga, and their other works include Mason and the Man-Eating Apartment.
What?
It started this year, it's still going, in Shonen Jump Plus with a story by Ku Tanaka. A strange new sci-fi by the writer of The Vertical World. Yeah, take that, flat earthers. How about
Vertical World?
The Halo World. Yeah, about a girl born into the landlord life, except her property is a massive sci-fi space with almost infinitely extended time at the end of the universe, and that time is only extended through extensive recycling of all things, be it trash or human lives. You know what? That sounds like a complex sci-fi premise.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Shojo Null. Ran from August 5th, 2023 to September 7th, 2024. Shonen Jump Plus. Series started at the same time as it was Mikane and the Sea Woman by Aoko Kizaki. It went for 5 volumes. It's okay. And History's Mentalist by Tomato Tree and Natsuko Uruma. That's 2 volumes, but it seems like it's a mini-series, so that's not really a flop. But Shojo Null went for 4 volumes and 33 chapters.
Woo!
I'm
Wow.
talking like the guy who introduces Saturday Night Live for some reason. Anyway, let's get into the plot summary. And now it's TrpyCris.
What a fucking day.
It's the future and mankind relies on robotic-ish slaves called Gijin that do whatever they're told without question. Riaha's dad was the leader of an underground liberation movement trying to free the Gijin. They managed to discover that the Gijin are actually sentient beings that are being controlled by tiny nanobots inserted into their brains that are referred to as bugs. The cops then bust down the door and the police boss, Kamiki, orders them to be killed. Riaha manages to escape with a Gijin named Ningyo who tells them to make a world where Gijin and humans can live together in peace and equality. Years later, Riaha comes home from school one day to discover a severely damaged fugitive military-grade Gijin who he quickly rushes inside his house and plugs into his Tesla charger. He names her Marie, and she is able to regenerate thanks to the electricity. Marie and Riaha are soon discovered by some YouTube influencers called the Kami Kids, who realize she's the escaped Gijin and decides to torture her. Riaha realizes that the main influencer, Kami Kid, is the son of Kamiki, his dad's murderer, which freaks him out a bit. One of the Kami Kids grabs a chainsaw, but just before he's about to skin her ass raw, Mari makes her Gijin maid go crazy, which results in Mary getting a chainsaw through her head.
Talk about a chainsaw woman.
Literally.
Hey.
I like that. Seemingly resulting in the bug being destroyed, but apparently that's not what happened. Anyway, Marie releases her metal tendrils and murders all of the influencers. She then tells Riaha she wants to kill all humans except for him, and he's like, sure, why not? Popcorn Jordan.
So, I'm pretty sure the editor told the author that he shouldn't have his main character want to kill all humans. So they chill on that for a bit.
They really back out on that.
They really back off it. As Marie becomes friends with Riaha's only friend, Chika, who you think is going to matter but doesn't. Marie sees some humans do awful genocidal things like throw them all into a giant blender and just, blend them all up, like insane shit like that. So Marie kills them and it's justified. Occasionally, her hair turns black and she transforms into an evil version of herself named Sheol. They meet a guy named Mimizuku, who is a hacker Gijin living in an underground Gijin city called Limbo. They soon come under surveillance by Amamiya.
Here we go again.
Oh my god. Marie kills him, but this attracts the attention of the special police force called the Hounds, led by Takahashi, a creepy guy with tiny eyes whose extensions allowed him to turn into a centaur that shoots lasers. In the process of escaping from the cops, Riaha is seriously wounded and loses his right arm, so is brought to Limbo where he's infused with Gijin DNA or something and turns into a cyborg, I guess. In the process, he speaks to Sheol in the Gijin afterlife where she tells him the world's backstory. Just dumps exposition on his ass. Popcorn David.
Basically, World War III happened and a great scientist named Cezanne made the Gijin to revive his wife, who became brain dead after getting attacked by a drone. She revives but isn't really herself and is commanded by the government to make the Gijin into soldiers. The Gijin rebels, so he creates the bugs to make them into slaves and rolls back technology to 2025, even though it's like 2200. Shoal tells Riaha to make Marie kill all humans or else she'll kill him. Riaha says, nah, it's up to her, and Shoal's like, yeah, you right. The cops break into Limbo and Riaha confronts Kamiki, who actually kills him just actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Marie defeats Takahashi and Kamiki and decides to actually kill all humans. Time flashes forward, and after killing a bunch of humans, they decide to stop and work towards peace and equality. Fucking what?
Series really like keeps being like, we're gonna kill all humans. Well, I don't know about that.
It's like, remember how it's like Bender was like, whenever I said kill humans, I would always say, except for Fry.
Yeah.
It's like that, which is also, it was a great call on the cover art, Jordan.
Thank you.
Anyway, TrpyCris, do you want to tell us a little bit about Marie?
Okay, Marie is a killer robot girl. She is very hungry, and she has a very messed up alternative personality that her name was, you said, Shwol?
It's like Sheol. It's like a Hebrew word. It's from the Old Testament, and it's kind of the basis for what became hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jewish hell, essentially.
Yeah, Jewish hell.
Yeah, Jewish hell. Yeah, and she can control people that are dying or just death in general.
She's got some weird psychic death ability thing.
Yeah. And it has something to do with like the mineral that it was found on Earth or something like that.
Yeah. This series gets so overcomplicated and confusing.
They should have just said it was some like a meteorite they found, right? And it was like some alien shit.
At this point, yeah. I thought that's what they were going with when they were introducing like bugs in their brains.
Yeah.
Like they said that like, oh, they have like a bug. Like in the beginning chapters, like, oh, there was like a bug in their head. So I thought they were going with like, oh, it's like a parasite or something. But then they turned into like, oh no, they actually created this bug from a mineral on the earth. So I was like, okay, I was just going along with the ride.
Yeah, it's like Gijinite or something like that.
Baka.
Yeah, Baka Gijin. It's like, so basically, Sheol is like Gijin afterlife, where like all the Gijin go when they die, and like they're all there, and she, like the Gijin are like a hive mind, and she can appear in any Gijin. It's so complicated. It is so stupid complicated, and we'll get into it more in the why it failed section.
This is probably like a little nitpick, but the thing that really like I feel like so insulted by is like the fact that her alternate personality already like looks like the model, like the robot model that the humans already created. So I'm like, wait a minute. So how did she come up with that image? Or like how did they know to make that image?
It's because the author didn't think about it.
That's what I'm saying.
The reason why it's so confusing is that they show other Gijins that look exactly like Marie, like she is mass produced. So it's like she seems to be the only one where there's multiple models of her. Yeah, it's very confusing.
There's mass production of her at the whole start of the series. It was supposed to be, she was just a completely normal one that just escaped.
Yeah.
And then she's still normal, and then she just coincidentally, well, I guess they're not like, because they say the brain damage she got shouldn't have caused this, which I guess was kind of good by the author, so it makes it point out that something is special about her.
I disagree. Well, because what's special about her is that she regenerates, because she's military grade.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, yeah, this chainsaw would have killed a normal Gijin, but because she regenerates, her brain regenerated without the bug. Fine. That makes a certain level of sense. And then they're like, oh no, that's not actually what did it. And I'm like, well, then what the fuck did it?
Yeah. And then, George, you want to talk about Riaha?
Shit, he's a kid and his dad was a revolutionary, and like there is something sort of interesting about him in some level, because he's the only one who seems to care that the Gijin keep getting tortured. And like when Marie is like, yeah, I want to kill all humans, he's kind of like, you know what, knock yourself out. Which I was like, oh shit.
Genuinely tries to kill a Kamiki, which was pretty dope.
Yeah, but he also, again, the author like backs off, because the author like, God, I would have liked it so much more if he was like, no, kill all humans, go ahead. Like, but he's just like, I don't know, I'm just in the middle of the road, you know, both sides, right? Like, whatever.
I think another thing that I just don't really like about the main character is that they don't really explain, like, at least in the beginning, they don't really explain why he hates, like, other humans. Because, like, I get having a grudge against, like, Kamiki, because obviously he killed his dad, but, like, everyone else, like, all humans you're fine killing? I mean, I don't know.
I took it more as it's like when Marie is about to kill these people, he's like, you know what? Who the fuck am I to tell her not to kill these people after they just kind of torture her people for fun? You know what?
Like, whatever.
I see.
He's like, I don't love it, but like, you do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah, besides his dad dying, he doesn't really have any personality or backstory.
No.
I didn't know his actual name until, like, I say chapter, like, 15.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's fair.
Like, I was writing down notes for this series, and I completely, like, I didn't have a reason to even write down his name.
Yeah, remember he has this vaping friend that disappears after like the third chapter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought she was gonna be so much more important.
I took out her character section.
She just amounted to nothing.
Yeah, and then I will talk about Kamiki, who is the psycho cop that Jordan has felt was worth adding, and I think you're right. I deleted him, and then Jordan was right to re-add him. He literally is just an embodiment of ACAB, where he's like, man, I sure love killing peaceful protesters.
He's kind of my favorite character in the
I
manga.
agree. I agree.
He's just so unapologetically evil. It is kind of great.
I just love the scene where he was recruiting the guy with the sword at hand.
Amamiya.
Yeah, Amamiya. I love his like recruitment scene. Is like, listen, I know you're selling drugs, but like, you want to sell drugs and get away with it? Just be a cop, bro. Like, come on, let's go. Like, I love that. I'm like, bro, what is this guy?
I did love that guy because I thought he was going to be like the person who turns to their side, but no, he's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He dies too early in the series to matter, but I do love how this clean cop, finger quotes, is actually a drug dealer that also still wants to like kill people and stuff.
I love how he's like, they killed my son, but I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
And then like later when he talks about it and sees them, hey, those are the people who burned down my house. Like he doesn't mention, and they killed my son. He just does not give a shit.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorite parts is like they've been fighting all these cops with like extensions, like prosthetic superpowers or something. And Riaha shoots Kamiki, and Kamiki gets back up, and he's like, "You have an extension too?" And he's like, "No, it's called a bulletproof vest, you dumbass."
We've had this technology for 400 years.
It's a fuck, like, yeah. Like, I loved that moment.
Yeah, you guys are right. And then, Trippy, do you want to tell us about Caesar?
Yeah, in my opinion, Caesar is like also one of my favorite characters because not only is he the creator of like the Gijins, but he actually has like a backstory and like a good like motivation, even though he is still very, very evil.
Yeah, that's about all you can really say is, oh, well, he was a wife guy and bad stuff happened to his wife, so now he's evil.
Yeah.
The idea is that he was like, in order to justify the things he did, he like manipulated it where he's like, oh, well, actually, my wife was evil. And also, he is the mayor and he has not aged for like 100 years. And nobody really makes a big deal out of it.
Yeah, it's like my grandma remembers when you looking exactly like that, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
like that's something that we should talk about more. Like, that's kind of strange.
Yeah, why is no one questioning it?
Yeah, it's almost like there's a few issues with this manga.
Yeah, in reality, he has like some kind of like camouflage cloaking technology going on.
It's literally what Old Snake uses in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Literally, yes.
All right, but anyway,
yeah,
why
David,
don't we...
I don't know, I agree, there are some issues with this manga, like...
Oh, I think there's a lot. There's a lot.
Why don't we fucking talk about them? So let's get into that section. TrpyCris, why don't you kick us off? What was your favorite piece of heavy-handed, terrible metaphors in this series?
What does that mean?
Like, whoa, can you believe they're evil? Or, whoa, racism?
Yeah, racism bad? Question mark?
What?
Oh...
It's like the X-Men issue where like, okay, yeah, the metaphor really breaks down when you had like that guy who is like his X gene activated and he killed everyone within a 2-mile radius of him. Maybe something does need to be done about mutants and their abilities when incidents like that can just happen, you know?
Yeah, the only reason why I wanted to read this and like I stuck through it was because, do you guys know the video game Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I wanted to read this manga, because I love that game and I thought this was gonna go like in that area, but they really didn't.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't do much of that metaphor, you know what I mean? Like they didn't really go too deep into it, which I wish they had done that. Huge missed opportunity. I feel like it would have been a lot better for the story.
I don't know, maybe it would have been more interesting if it was like slowly realizing that there is some kind of sentience in these beings. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just so cartoonishly black and white. No, this is horrible and evil. Like, there's no question. Like, yeah, these people are living in a horrible hell where they shoot themselves and get tortured at the behest of humans. Like,
and they literally show them crying during this. So it's like, how do you have any plausible deniability that these are just robots?
Yeah, how does nobody know when you encounter them all the time? Like, it seems like getting hit in the head would deactivate the bug. So I don't really understand how they've kept this a secret.
It's also all of these torture, like you never saw the bug. There's definitely people that have killed a Gijin and just taken it apart, and they should have found the bug in it.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because, I mean...
Do they sell the brains? How much would that go off in the black market?
I don't know, but the point, people were completely mutilating these robots.
Yeah. But like I wish they explored that. So like I feel like this series could have been like a good like maybe 100 chapters if they explored more of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we'll definitely talk about that in the where it could have gone section.
This series just gets so over fucking complicated.
Oh yeah.
Again, as I said, it's like with the chainsaw freeze Marie's brain of the bug. Okay, I understand that actually. And then it's like Kamiki is talking to somebody and he's like, hey, could a chainsaw do that? And this doctor lady's like, nah, chainsaw couldn't do that. It's like, well then what the fuck did?
Can we talk about how unceremoniously that lady died, by the way?
That was, I thought that was funny.
That was absolutely hilarious. You're right.
She was like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have come into work today.
There wasn't really a reason for her to be there anyway.
No, she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The series also just backs off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the first chapter, like, the big sting line is where she's like, I'm gonna kill all humans. And then she just backs the fuck off.
You can tell the editor kept, like, being like, hey, this doesn't make sense, or like, hey, this is not a good idea, and it really fell apart. And then TrpyCris, I know you're a fan of horror. Are you familiar with Elfen Lied?
Yes.
So, George, do you want to talk about how much this rips off Elfen Lied?
So here's the thing. It starts out seeming like a big Elfen Lied ripoff. It kind of chills out on that if for no reason then this series backs off of everything.
Yeah.
Because one of the things about Elfen Lied is that and look, don't read Elfen Lied. I don't recommend Elfen Lied. But Elfen Lied, one of the main things is that like, Lucy, the main evil character, she just kind of likes killing people. And so it's like, there's a lot of moral ambiguity because it's like, well, she's not really a hero, but also like you kind of appreciate that she does feel this way and like she does a lot of this stuff to survive. Whereas like in Shojo Null, it's like, no, obviously Marie is pretty justified here.
Yeah.
And also so in Elfen Lied, she also has a split personality, but in Elfen Lied, split personality is between the evil and intelligent Lucy and essentially a toddler because that series is weird. Don't read it.
Yeah.
But at least there's like a clear demarcation, whereas in this one, Marie keeps saying she wants to kill all humans, and then Sheol is like, yeah, we should kill all humans.
It's pretty much like the intrusive thoughts one.
Yeah.
Like meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally the same exact person, except one looks like Kaneki's hair, and then the other one is like before he turned into a ghoul hair. Literally it.
I think that's fair. And then TrpyCris, were there any other issues you had with the series that we haven't brought up yet?
I mean, other than the world building and like I'm not gonna lie, I did not understand like her power or like how like the hive mind worked.
There is no like science explanation. I think it's just genuinely psychic powers.
Yeah, right. Is that
which the series also doesn't really go into detail about how like, hey, there's clearly a magical element to this. Because they try and make it seem like it's all science.
Well, maybe it is all science, but they turned magic into science, David. It's like that Girl Genius panel.
You got it.
You know, where she's like, any magic that's studied is science, or whatever the fuck. I don't blame you, TrpyCris, for being confused.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking confusing.
Yeah. It's also, the characters are so paper thin. No one really has a backstory except for the big bad. Like, yeah, Riha's dad died. What else is there to him as a personality? Because they're all paper thin. Every character exists just for the plot. Like, I think that's why we thought Kamiki was cool, is because he's so evil that it's cartoonish and you don't feel like you have to justify anything about him. Because no one could ever turn into being just that evil through like an explanation I think I could really take.
That's why I also really like Season, because Season was the only person with like a natural backstory. Like, honestly.
I was genuinely frustrated when the flashback ended and we went back to Marie and Riaha. I was like, oh, god damn it, these motherfuckers again. Like, the manga was actually starting to get interesting, and then it's like, oh, that was a flashback. We're back to these boring motherfuckers.
Yeah, they have, we'll get into it, but they had a much cooler topic for a manga that they just didn't use.
Yeah.
Also, there is a lot, as we talked about, there's definitely continuity issues. Like, for instance, with that 1 a.m. meeting when it's bright daylight out.
Yeah.
Like,
that was a fuck up.
What's the point of the editor not catching that? Or during the cave-in scene so when Riha and Kamiki are trapped in the cave, where did all these other fucking people come from? Because that was the whole point, right? They just show up.
I mean, Riaha was kind of like, there's a dead end over there. You're trapped. Maybe he was lying, but like, I don't know.
But it only benefits Kamiki because Kamiki's backup comes.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Like a lot of things in this series. Yeah.
I don't know, but we do have to talk about things it did well. So let's shift into that, okay, friend?
Yeah.
I agree.
I'll bite the bullet. The art is fine. It definitely has some really funky looking panels, but we have seen far worse. It is definitely not the art quality you would expect of a split artist author, though. So I'm like, I guess this is just as good as this artist can draw, and it's, you know.
There were moments where I feel like this series was actually like turning into something.
Mm-hmm.
There was the flashback scene, and honestly, I actually liked the chase with the centaur guy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the centaur guy was like kind of rad in how fucking creepy he looked and how creepy he was. Like, he was almost like a berserk enemy randomly got inserted into this manga.
I really like that chase scene because I really like to see like the first fight scene with the genetic arm
sword?
with the sword. Yeah. I really liked seeing like how they're using like their like cyborg like extensions. And in that chase scene, we literally see a guy that was like, "Yo, I love cars. I'm gonna just become a car."
Yeah.
I love that.
That is so funny. And I'm like, you know what? This makes it a little bit enjoyable because around this point, I was already getting like tired of like the series. I was like, bro, I should probably just drop it. Like at this point, I would drop it. But like that like kept me kind of going a little bit. That like pushed me a little bit. And I was like, yeah, that's so funny.
I think he was inspired by Gradius or something. Like, he was like, no, like literally they're like, he really liked a certain side-scrolling shooter where the main character is fused to a ship. So he's like, what if I just fuse myself to a car?
God.
Like literally.
I don't know what else to say about that.
The extensions were very funny, but also respect to this series for actually fucking killing Riaha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was completely convinced that they were going to be like, oh, wait, he's saved. Oh, because of these cells we inserted into his head, he's back to life. No, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
He's just dead. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Good for you, Shojo Null.
I mean, the series does actually try and kill people, which is nice.
Yeah.
The fact that Riaha just pulls out a gun and, because I think in a lot of manga, you would be like, you know what, revenge isn't what I need. You know, Kamiki, your punishment is to see a society where, you know, Gijins are treated like people and you'll just have to suffer in jail. He's like, nope, I cast bullet. He would have died if he wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest.
I do think this series chickens out in a lot of ways, but I have to respect that it was willing to do that. And maybe it was doing it because the author was like, you know what, editor, this series is getting canceled anyway. I'm just going to kill him.
Yep.
Yeah. And as a person that loves horror manga, and I cover a lot of horror manga weekly, I would say the gore is actually pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I do wish that they got harder with like humans, like with the human deaths. But when they're showing like how these people torture like the Gijins, like it goes like all out with the blender. I really like that whole play scene.
Yeah.
And even in the beginning with like when they were killing the YouTuber influencers and like they were like, yo, what's in her hand? And it's like an eyeball. I'm like, yo, that's sick.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, that's messed up, but like that's awesome.
Yeah.
In a dark way, like that's awesome. Like that was the thing that like caught my attention into that series.
Yeah. And then do you guys have any other positives?
I mean, I love the cop. I think we mentioned
Yeah.
the Kamiki, yeah.
Yeah. Jordan.
All the villains were so much more interesting than the main character.
100%.
Like, so much more interesting than the good guys. Like, I'd kind of rather read this series with the cops as the main characters, which is one of my ideas for maybe that's where it could have gone, David?
So why don't we get into that, buddy?
Yeah?
Oh, we're doing it.
So I think it would have been more interesting if the POV character was like Amamiya or something, and we watched him working with Kamiki as they try and turn it into Blade Runner, have them going after these rogue Gijin, and then maybe Amamiya slowly discovers, wait, these guys are like people, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he has to turn against the evil cops because the evil cops were like so much more interesting.
Jordan, you don't have to say evil cops, that's redundant.
I know, I was just thinking, I'm being a little redundant, but they were just so much more interesting. They actually had backstory. Like, even that fucking doctor lady, like, she, like, played in a band, like, she had a backstory. You could just tell that the author himself was just so much more interested in them than he was in the normal people.
Which is hilarious because a lot of them are unceremoniously killed.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of badass in a way, too. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, if you had this, like, massive, like, World War III, like, cyborg or whatever term you can call them thing, like, that would have been a very interesting setting instead of it just being the year 2025, but we also have robots with feelings, you know?
Mm.
Also, when they were going over World War III, they were talking about how they were just attacked by these rogue AI drones that kind of like just got
the Spitbirds.
Yeah, what were they called?
They're called like the Spitbirds.
Yeah, the Spitbirds. That was terrifying.
And they go nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
They just disappear.
That is such a cool and terrifying idea. Like, whoa. And it also like has some kind of honestly slightly less heavy-handed political commentary, but still like kind of clear, where it's like the way that drone bombings will just take out areas of civilians and they have no idea that it's gonna, like, terrifying shit like that, like where like it is actually saying something and it's scary.
Yeah. And then TrpyCris, I know you had a few ideas that we started talking a little bit in the why it failed section. So what would you say are some things you would have changed about the series?
I wish it focused more on like how the rest of humanity viewed Gijins. It really felt like the main character was the only person that really liked him.
Right.
This guy can't be the only one.
Well, there was that liberation front his dad was a part of, but they all died. But there had to have been other things. Like, I thought that's what they were going to build up to, is like build an a Gijin rights resistance.
It can't just only be Japan. Like, this must be everywhere.
I kind of thought they were building up to the idea that actually all the other countries were destroyed and Japan is stuck in like this little like bubble where like they think the world exists, but it doesn't. I felt like that's where it was headed, but I really don't think it was.
What I was going to say is that, you know, another, like, because we mentioned it briefly, like Chika, the best friend.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know, she could have been such a huge, important character in the story. Like, it could have been that Marie wanted to kill all the humans, and then you had the main character, like, stuck in between, like, wanting to kill all the humans and help her out, and then having Chika be there, like, hey, no, let's not do that. Let's try to find, like, peace. And it would have been, like, such a cool, like, psychological, like, warfare for the main character. It would have made the main character so interesting. You know what I mean?
I definitely thought that's what they were gonna do, but no, they just wrote her out of the series.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, what was the purpose of her in that story?
Yeah, and then they introduced the Hacker Man guy, which I was really annoyed that he ended up being a Gijin, because again, you needed more humans that were actually empathetic to their cause.
Yeah.
You know what I thought it was? I thought he was going to be like a half. Like, you know how like they were doing like the genetic like enhancements? I thought he was going to be like that. Just like an actual human, but no, he turned out to be a robot. I was like, okay, another missed opportunity.
Yeah, like you're really telling me that they have this massive Gijin society underground and nobody knows that Gijin are sentient?
Don't they live under like the disposal shaft? So it's like they've never had like a maintenance issue and someone has to like go down and like declog it or something and find this huge area?
Yeah, nobody knows.
It's so funny because I'm remembering the scene is like they have like the police meeting and they're just like, guys, this is top secret, but don't tell anybody, but the robots are sentient. And then all the cops are like screaming like, hurrah, yeah, they're sentient. And they're like, yo, this is top secret. Stop yelling it out. Like there's people in the background that are clearly hearing this. I'm like, how is this information not getting leaked? Like these people are screaming at the top of their lungs for this.
Like back to what I was like thinking about how like Japan's in this bubble, like it would kind of make more sense to me if it was like the twist would be that Japan is in its own little pocket world almost. Yeah. And like maybe the rest of the world is run by the Gijin or something. And it's like, yeah, that's just one weird little place we don't go or something.
That's what I thought it was going as well.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to have some sort of explanation of why the technology is so behind versus this, you know, Gijin shit.
Well, they did kind of.
It's a stupid explanation. I thought it would be.
Yes, it is a stupid explanation.
I feel a more heavy-handed explanation would have actually made more sense. Like, there was someone artificially stopping the progression of their technology besides this technology.
Yeah, it seems like they're just doing it because.
The author was like, I don't want to think of other sci-fi shit.
Yeah. I really just want to set this in modern times. I just don't want to think about it. And then they're just like, we manipulated history so everybody forgot about World War III.
Fucking stupid.
That's crazy.
They could have just set this in like 2075.
Or they could have had them all believe it was 2025.
Yeah. There's actually a really good, I won't spoil it, but the writer of Witch Watch has a series where that is one of the themes, is where they doctor like the years, and it's really cool.
Ooh.
But I won't say anything more about that. Anyway, though, now I'm talking about a different series. Why don't we get into miscellaneous thoughts? Does it sound good?
Yeah.
So TrpyCris, what would you say are some things you feel you haven't had a chance to bring up yet that you want to talk about?
I was just thinking, like, you know, during the whole World War III scene, have you guys read the story, I Have No Mouth and I Might Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going with that route.
No, that'd be too interesting.
Yeah, it'll make the story actually good.
In what sense?
The way that like, they created the robots to stop like a war.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. And then they're going to go with the robots are going to turn rogue and then try to take over humans. But then the robots were just like, nah, if you keep doing this, there's like a warning. It's like, if you keep doing this, then I will destroy you. And they're like, okay, I guess we should just keep going with it. And I was like, oh, I guess humans are still the bad guys then.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the robots did do that, but then the humans won.
Yeah.
It's the opposite ending of how the Matrix went.
Yeah.
Again, it just feels like that's a whole additional complexity that doesn't need to be there. Like, if you're just gonna enslave them again, you don't have to have them rebel.
Also, we don't see a lot of like the different roles that they play in society. Like they have maids, but like we don't see them like I hate bringing up Detroit Become Human.
You're welcome to bring it up.
Yeah, but like in Detroit Become Human, you see like the different roles that they have in society, and like you see how they're like stealing jobs and stuff, and like you see like a good reason for like why the humans really don't like them. Here, you don't really see any of that, so it's like they're just slaves for like rich people, I guess.
Yeah, because you are right. This is kind of the end game where every single like manual labor job can just be done by these robot people.
Yeah.
Right. Like they had the military Gijin be on a truck that was driven by a human being, and the guy fell asleep and ran into a divider.
Like, yeah, like why don't you just have a robot do that? Like,
yeah.
Or a self-driving car, right? It's again, you have this technology.
They have them get into a self-driving car at the end.
Yeah, this world building is atrocious, as we talked about. I also want to talk, speaking of cars, remember how he jumped out of a car going 300 miles per hour and was fine? Like, what the? Like, they didn't even try and excuse it. They just
was this
brushed
during
it off.
like chase scene?
Yeah, they said the car went up to 300 miles per hour and he jumps out of the car and like rolls. Like
300 miles per hour is very crazy too.
He would have died instantly jumping out of a 300 mile per hour car.
Was this on a highway or was this on a street?
Yeah, they were on the highway and he was...
Oh.
Yeah, she just found like a supercar or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Because I don't even remember it being on a highway. I thought it was like on the street. I was wondering like, yo, there's no red lights like happening here. Like, what if someone decides to take the red light?
Didn't the hacker man do that for them, where they
cleared
the way?
Hacker man.
That's why it's really convenient to have a hacker man, because he can hand wave things like that.
Yeah.
The only reason he's in the story.
Yes.
Exactly.
Do you guys remember that one cop who was like a former boxer, and they gave him super arms and made it so that when he punched things, it made him horny?
I think I fell asleep through that because I don't remember that. I do not remember that.
I don't remember that. Jordan, are you sure that wasn't like a dream you had?
No, it was 100% in the manga. I can like send you the screenshot because it's insane. They were like, we took this boxer and we made it so that he gets sexually aroused from punching things. So all he thinks about is punching things now.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I remember. It's in chapter 16. Yeah. Bro, these guys were so... Like, I saw this and I was like, this is such a waste.
Yeah, like, whoa, holy shit.
I remember reading this. This was around the time where I was like, yeah, I feel like I would drop the series already. This was like for me, this felt like a random fight scene that did not need to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he immediately gets decapitated.
Like, this is like 8 panels.
Yeah.
Like 8 pages long, the fight scene. That's it. Like,
yeah, it says that's not all. He also has a neural transplant to make him sexually aroused when he throws a punch. All he thinks about is beating up his opponents.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. He just dies so fast.
He immediately gets decapitated.
And then it gets overshadowed by the what's it called? The chase scene.
The centaur guy and
Yeah, you could have just went straight into the chase scene.
Yeah.
Stupid. Also,
yeah.
I love how there's like a possessed hand. It's very Metal Gear Solid 2 coded. Speaking of Metal Gear. Yeah. Also, did anyone else think of Yu-Gi-Oh when she's in like the mine town or whatever the fuck it is, where she's like talking to herself? Remember how like Yami would go into like the maze and talk to himself?
Oh.
I think I did at one point. Yeah.
When I saw that, I was thinking like in Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh yeah, this does remind me of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, and like the opening of Tokyo Ghoul where he's just like sitting in the chair, but like it's like a beautiful landscape behind him. Like that I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Or Jujutsu Kaisen where it happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy how often this trope is.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like in Naruto when he's talking to the Nine Tails like behind the gate. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of different worlds.
At the end, she does kind of activate domain expansion.
She does,
yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah.
Do you guys even care the fact that she merged with like, because like I'm like, that's the same person. It's just the same person.
It's just the same person.
The split personality thing was stupid. Why didn't she just possess that robot from the start?
I feel like it would have been better if they did the Lucy route and just have the two personalities be completely different. I feel like that's what they were trying to do in the beginning, because she was like very toddler-like in the beginning. But like, I feel like maybe like the editor was like, yo, this is too much like Elfenlied. So just like, let's just cut that out.
Yeah, Elfenlied.
Elfenlied.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
my
that's cool. That's cool. I just know the proper way to pronounce it, so I wanted to feel important. Anyway, speaking
People
of
will get mad at you no matter how you pronounce that.
Yeah,
David.
it's actually pronounced shitty manga.
You should see my comment sections. I get roasted for pronunciations.
People got so mad at us because we called manga for like
2 years.
Yeah, for like 2 years.
I love it. All right, before we get into final verdict, MaxyBee has some fun trivia where they have set a record for least amount of information, where they just say the creative duo previously worked together on a one-shot for Shonen Jump Plus called the Fireplay Club, a collaboration that went so well this series happened. That is it. MaxyBee has nothing else interesting to say about this series.
Arguably, they have nothing interesting to say about this series.
But you know who has interesting things to say? Our community with their 6-word summary. So let's get into the final verdict. From Tucker, I hate Centaur Man's little eyes. MaxyBee has null value in my heart. Blamumu, the most ACAB of all manga. Just, I think, a theme in these 6-word summaries. Spubby, One Piece is One Piece still going on in 220 or 2200.
Accurate.
Order of the Flame Flamer, Shojo H0, all cops are bastards. Dude Rock says series is bug nuts. I love it. Beige, the cops elfin lead to us. Eru, play he killed a motorbike policeman. Real, the most realistic cops in manga. Super Slay at 21, Detroit become humans, edgy younger sibling. Luffy Taru, Robot Florist forcing him bizarre action. Oh yeah, I forgot that there was that story arc where she just takes care of a flower shop for like 3 chapters.
Yeah, she got fired like immediately for skipping work. Like,
Portal Man, suck it, 3 laws of robotics. Watchtower, I Robot can't be this cute.
I like that. I actually really like that.
That's the floppies are coming up, so we'll keep that in mind. Gray Potter, Detroit become god of humanity's downfall, or talking brain rocks are people too. Diego, my life is a teenage robo-god. Redblade, cop of an ending, ironically. Jacob Tupac, ACAB means all of humanity too. Gray Potter, Ahab, all humans are bastards. Kill, Armored Queen, half man, half machine, all flop. Or a paladin, well, it certainly wasn't Shojo Null. And then, TrpyCris, what was your 6-word summary?
so if Detroit becomes human was kawaii.
All right, I had ACAB bot.
I'm assuming that since it is an acronym, each letter is counting as its own word.
Yes. What the O and T stand for, I'll leave it to the listeners to decide. And then, Jordan, how about you? What was yours?
Kill all humans. Just kidding. Unless.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it. All right. And then, flop or not, so TrpyCris, would you say this is bad or terrible?
It's not good, but I wouldn't say it's like horrible. I've read a lot worse series, so I'm just comparing it to like all the other.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, I'm comparing it to like all the horrible like series in the past. I would say it's bad, but not like horrible. So would that be like a flop?
Yeah, I would say that's a regular flop then.
That's a regular flop? Okay,
All
yeah.
right. Hey, man, you're welcome to say that. Jordan, how about you?
I'm on the
edge.
Yeah, basically the horrible edge of bad. Like, it's on the cusp for me because I think there are some good ideas here. And the series, I read this series really fast. Like, this series did not feel like a slog to me. I wasn't even sure if I really hated the series until I thought about it more. And then I was like, wait, that was fucking stupid. But because it wasn't actively painful for me to read, at least, I would say it's a flop. That's my criteria.
I will agree. I think this is bad. It got a little bit better near the end, so I guess it's not certified. I'll be nice to it. So, TrpyCris, what do you think someone should check out instead of this series, though, since you didn't like it?
I was trying to find a series that was like very similar to Shojo Null.
Yeah.
But
Elfin Lead?
yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah, I feel like you could check that series out. Or I was thinking Loki Pluto. I was thinking Pluto.
I love Pluto. And then Jordan, how about you?
In order to like prepare for this series, the YouTube algorithm knew that I was reading this, I guess, and recommended me a video called Why Did We Like Elfin Lead by this creator named Hazel. And yeah, it goes into, hey, why did teenagers like this series? It sort of worked as a bit of a retrospective. It's a great video. And yeah, I definitely recommend that, especially if you've never seen Elfin Lead, because then you don't need to watch Elfin Lead, especially after you've seen that video. You don't have to read about the girl who her whole thing is that she's a singer who pisses herself every time she sings because her father abused her. You don't need to read about that.
Okay.
That's an arc?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what to do with that. So I'm going to recommend people read MAD, M-A-D. It's really cool. It's set in a sci-fi planet where aliens come on meteorites and start fucking everyone up. And it's just kind of this really cool kind of body horror action series that I really have been enjoying. And it's got some cool artwork.
Hell yeah.
It's very, very depressing.
Good.
Yeah, but it's literally what if like aliens from Alien just like took over the planet, and it's all about like the people who are like trying to survive in that apocalypse. So it's a pretty hard to recover apocalypse.
That sounds low-key really good.
It's really good. It's like 30 or so chapters, but I'm really enjoying it. I want to say this person worked on Chainsaw Man. I may be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised though.
That sounds kind of goated with the sauce.
Actually, yeah.
Sure.
Low
So
key.
why don't you guys go check it? Actually, there you go, TrpyCris. If you want a manga to talk about one of your videos, you're welcome to see if it's a good fit.
I actually think people have recommended me this series.
Hell yeah.
I was like, I feel like I've heard about it. That's actually kind of sick.
Is there a way to Google it that isn't fucking annoying?
It's all caps, which helps. MAD manga, but write it MAD all caps. That probably will help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then Jordan, is this the worst thing we read?
Nah. There were some redeeming qualities, so no.
Fair. All right, let's get into wrap up then. TrpyCris, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can people get more of you in their lives?
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Total pleasure.
You guys can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TrpyCris, and I post every single Friday. So you guys can catch me every Friday.
Real quick, how do you spell that?
TrpyCris, TrpyCris.
Yeah.
I spelled trippy very weirdly.
I love it. I want to give props to Jordan for making the opening and ending theme, being a great co-host, and helping with editing.
I want to thank David for putting the show together, finding guests, helping manage the Discord, doing like a lot of other stuff too. He does a lot.
No problem, babe. Props to Merliel for the awesome cover art. You can find her online at Lyle Mur, and Nigel for being our generous art benefactor. Thank you, Dylan, for assistance with editing. You can find his podcast, Anime Out of Context, at animeoutofcontext.com. Thanks to Tucker and MaxyBee for assistance with pronunciation, translation, other miscellaneous research. Find us on Blue Sky/X at Shonen Flop, Tumblr Shonen-Flop, and our website ShonenFlop.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. Come join the Shonen Flop Discord. It's open to everyone. Hang out with us, talk about anime, games, whatever else is on your mind. We even have a manga book club and movie nights. Find a link to it in our show notes on our site, ShonenFlop.com. And then Jordan, anything you want to touch on?
Yeah, no, I'd like to say thank you to my wonderful girlfriend, Steph. Our poor kitten, Freya, she just got spayed, so she is not happy and has to wear adorable pajamas, and we have been taking care of her.
Likewise, I want to give a shout out to my wonderful wife, Rachel, for taking good care of me when I broke my toe. And Ravioli, she went to a new doggy daycare, and the woman there was like, when can Ravioli come back? She is the sweetest dog I've ever met. And it's
She's
like, don't
sweet.
you fucking know it. Yeah, TrpyCris, this dog has zero fight in her. She is 100% potato baby.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And Jordan can back me up on that.
Yeah,
That
very
sounds so
sweet
beautiful.
dog.
Yeah. All right, let's get into sign-offs. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next Monday as we give our first thoughts on Juki Ningen Nambor. This has been David.
This has been Jordan.
This has been TrpyCris.
And you've been listening to Shonen Flop.
Keep on flopping, floppers.
Yeah.